I'm Lavonne and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am here today in the hospital at labor and delivery, here to show you how to use your labor bed. By how you use it, I mean how you work with your nurses, with your care team to help use your bed, to get you in different positions for labor, different positions for comfort. There's a lot of things that these transformer beds can do, and so I'm going to show you that today. But before I get started, make sure you subscribe down below, turn on your notification bell so you never miss a future video, and then let's get going. I thought it would be super important to be able to talk through your labor bed. So this looks like a normal hospital bed, but these beds are specific to labor and delivery, specific to laboring mamas. They transform, they break apart, there's things for your feet. There's all sorts of ways to use these beds to help you get through labor, to help you with positions of comfort, to help you with positions to help the baby navigate through the pelvis, and then especially for pushing and delivery. So I'm literally gonna orient you to the bed. Now, what you wanna do when you get to your labor room is you wanna check in with your nurse and ask him or her how comfortable they are with you changing positions without them there, because they may want to be there to help you, to make sure you're all nice and tucked in. They do have to chart the different positions that you do. So just kind of do a check-in with them, and then also how much and how comfortable they are with you kind of navigating the bed yourself. I say that very loosely because my own personal opinion is that if you want to move around in labor, if you want to get up, if you're not comfortable in a certain position, you really should be able to move positions and change the bed yourself. Biggest thing would be going up and down with the head of the bed. So it's like your sleep number bed or your Tempur-Pedic or something, right? The head of the bed of these beds goes up and down. And so to start, I'm just gonna show you how to lift up the head of the bed. And sometimes in labor, you may feel like you're too reclined. You're like, go up, and you're like, oh, too far, go back. And these are like micro movements to help you feel more comfortable, to find that sweet spot. You do have control of this. So if you're a partner, if you're a support person, if you're a doula, there are buttons on the outside of the bed that you can click to go up and bring the head all the way up. And this is what it looks like when it's all the way up. So it's almost at a 90-degree angle, but not quite. So if you really wanted to sit forward, you are gonna have to add in some pillows here. That button on the inside is gonna be right by your head. It's the lowest one. There is a button on here that none of us like as labor nurses that firms up the bed. Honestly, I think it's a really dumb feature, but it will like bring this like bubble in the bed. So if you feel like you're kind of crooked, you're like, something's up with my back, there's like this weird bubble in the bed, there is a button to deflate that. I usually just keep it deflated, and that's gonna be on the top part of this bed. Now, mind you, I also will say that this particular labor bed is gonna be one model. There are multiple models, but all of the models pretty much do the exact same thing. It's just where the buttons are that may be a little bit different, but I want you to know that they are there and you can do these things. So if I'm gonna bring down the head of the bed, I'm gonna bring it all the way flat. So then in that position, you can get on all fours, you can try all sorts of different flat positions and tuck in with pillows. The other thing I will say is that in this particular video, I could show you how to use a peanut ball, how to use different pillows to tuck you in. So if you want that one, let me know. But otherwise, the goal of this video is literally just how to use the bed with like maybe like one or two pillows. So let's stick with two. So the bed is flat now. This bed also goes up and down. So the bed, I'll bring it all the way up to show you how high it can actually go. It's like you're on a ride. Now, you never would want to be in the bed and keep the bed this high just as a falling risk. If you were to roll over or roll off or something, you want to be closer to the ground. But if you're standing by the bed and you're wanting to rock and sway and you want something to lean against, or like say for your epidural, you may end up this high so the anesthesiologist can access the epidural space. But also you can stand and sway next to the bed, lean on the bed that way, or use it almost as a table so that you're able to kind of like stabilize yourself and have something to lean on. The other thing is that there are handlebars. I'm gonna bring the bed down a little bit. So these handlebars come up on either side. They're mostly for pushing, so you can kind of brace yourself and pull while you're pushing. But I usually love them for like a squatting position by the side of the bed. So if you wanted to squat down and lean and hang and rock back and forth, you can stabilize yourself that way. And really you can grab these poles and you're gonna be a lot more stable than having to balance your own weight. So the handlebars are gonna be for pushing and then stabilizing, but a lot of times even too, like I'll lock a peanut ball in position there, or we'll like put a pillow there and it'll add some extra support. You can do a lot with the handlebars, but it adds like an extra stabilizing place along with your side railings. So your side railings are obviously to protect you from falling off the side of the bed, but some of them only go all the way down and some of them go halfway down, which I think is also nice if you're laying on your side and say your partner's over on the other side, you're turning, looking at them, but all you see is the side railing. You're not sick, you're not a fall risk. Technically, you might actually be somewhat considered a fall risk in the hospital, but in general, you're not unhealthy. You're not like flailing around and rolling off the bed at any time. You're conscious. And so we could, in theory, put down that side railing. So the button is over here. You're gonna press the button, and then if this bed happens to go halfway down, most beds would probably just go all the way down. This one's like a extra special bed. But if you press it again, the side rail does go all the way down. So then you could turn, you could look at your partner, you could watch TV, or especially for pushing partners, I always put down the side railing when you're up by the head of the bed, so you can get nice and close, and you're not having to like lean over and it ends up being really in the way for you. So you have control of the side railings. If they're bothering you or they're in the way or for a position change or something, you're like, I just need them gone for a second, you can ask your nurse to put them down. In theory, the partner could put them down, but in general, if you're sleeping or something, safety-wise, nurses are gonna want your side railings up. It would be those special circumstances that we could put them down if they're in the way for you. Okay, so I'm gonna put down the handlebar, and then we have the fancy area of the bottom part of the bed. And this bottom part of the bed also goes down. So if you bring up the head of the bed and bring down the bottom, you can do various positions like this. So if you wanted to sit, you also have a ledge where you could put your feet flat here and then sit your butt up against it. A lot of the labor beds have like a dip where there's a hole in the middle of the bed right where it splits. And that's especially good for pushing to align your butt so there's nothing pressing up against your vagina. Instead, a lot of times I will roll up like a towel or something if you're feeling like it's too much pressure, and create that kind of half moon on the bed like that, which you can sit on and actually can feel really good to let your vagina hang if it feels like too much pressure when you're sitting up like that. That's an added kind of bonus that doesn't come with a bed necessarily. So you can sit up the head of the bed, bring down the feet, and then this ledge is great because there's cushion on the bottom part. So if you wanted to get on all fours, turn over, kneel, and lay over some pillows, you can do that. Sway back and forth. Your partner can access the lower back area for some butt massage, some back massage, some double hip squeeze, some rebozo booty shake, a lot of things you learn in my Coping with Labor class, so make sure you take that class because you can use all of those techniques in this labor bed. So it's great. I love the fact that this can go up and down. And then if you brought up the whole bed, you could do like a full sitting, what we call throne position. And then you can move from the ledge up into the middle, leaning over the back of the bed, and then sway back and forth there. You can hold onto the back of the bed, you can hold onto the side railings, and really turn and still have access to that lower back, to that butt, and etc., and then still be in that kneeling gravity position in the bed. Even with an epidural, a lot of times you can do this. Your nurses in general are gonna probably be less comfortable with you doing an all fours position with an epidural. But I will say right now that if they haven't done it before, one of the things you could say as a tool would be, hey, I heard of this labor nurse. She talks about a lot of times how epiduralized patients can get on all fours. Would you be willing to try? And then you would have to help. You go up on all fours and then you kind of like swing your bottom leg underneath. This is gonna be a safety thing. So if your nurse really deems it unsafe, it is safer to just skip the position than you risking falling on your belly. But if you do have a good amount of mobility on your lower extremities where you can like lift your leg at all, you probably can get in all fours with an epidural. So then for the bottom part of the bed, we can use the stirrup to do some sideline positions. So I love this. Underneath the bed, there should be some sort of handle to bring out the leg stirrup. Then it's gonna swing up. Every bed is different. It's gonna lock into place. This one doesn't stay very well. And then you have foot pedals that are really good for pushing positions. You can put your feet there if you're feeling like you want to spread eagle. That way it comes up on the other side, which I'll do in a second. But then they also come up, you can put your legs here for pushing, so your legs are in the stirrups there. If you don't have mobility of your legs, you can't hold the weight of your legs. But then also for side lying position. So if you have one stirrup up and you're on your side, that upper leg can come up into the stirrup. You're gonna realign it so it's resting nicely there, and it keeps your pelvis open. It's instead of putting a bunch of pillows between your legs, maybe using a peanut ball. If there's a peanut ball, you can always rotate between the peanut ball and then the stirrup. I typically do that especially for a long labor because it's gonna switch it up. The peanut ball is gonna do have a little bit of a different dimension than would a stirrup to keep the pelvis nice and open and help the baby to come down. So I use the stirrup a lot for that, for side-lying positions to help open everything up and keep your legs wide. It may just feel better that way too. And then we get to pushing. So I'm gonna pull out our stirrups. Let's just say her legs are here in the stirrups. Then what they would do is your booty would come down to the edge of the bed, your legs are up here, and then get this, we're gonna pull off the bottom part of the sheet. And then this bottom part of the bed actually comes off. So you can completely remove the bottom part of the bed so that they have access to the magic location where this baby's gonna come out of. So typically for a pushing situation, we're gonna bring up the whole entire bed. So the provider then, and this is just like to catch any fluids or any kind of like liquid blood, anything coming out of you. So then the provider can be right here and they can access where they're delivering for a lithotomy pushing position. So if you're on your back, now if you're on your side, they may also break the bed. Some providers don't, we say break the bed when you literally like take off the bottom half of the bed and break it in half. But then this is really nice because they can get all up nice and personal. A lot of times there's a spotlight on the ceiling, which I don't see in here. There's probably a portable one somewhere that they bring in so they can add some light to the area. But then they can visualize the area and actually catch your baby. Baby would come out here and go up on your chest there. For pushing, etc., you can expect maybe your booty is right here, legs are up here. Now mind you, if this feels too wide, obviously it's gonna change here. If it feels too close to you, it can move back and forth, although this one maybe doesn't. Nope, that one doesn't, it's broken, but that's okay. And then if you do have control of your legs, obviously you may not even need the stirrup portion that holds your legs. You can just use the foot pedals, and that's also another option for you. So obviously this is gonna be your preference, and this is just, like, I have a lot of lights on in the room right now, and I'm showing you kind of like a basic overview of the bed, but you're the one in control here. So if something doesn't feel right, or you do end up pushing on all fours, the provider may not break the bed. We can lower the lights. They may not need a spotlight until if there was a tear. Obviously, like if they're gonna stitch you back up, you want them seeing where they're stitching. Right now it's just throwing it in blind. And so that's where like your preferences are so important, talking to your provider about the mood that you wanna set, and then understanding what your options are with a device like this that really can be a tool to help you cope better, to help you change positions, to help facilitate the baby to rotate through the pelvis. Remember, position changes every 30 minutes to an hour. The more frequent, the better is the ideal, especially once you have an epidural, because that motion is lotion. That's gonna lubricate that baby to twist and turn down into the pelvis, help put more pressure on your cervix, help get you to complete so we can get to pushing, and then you can eventually have your baby on your chest. Thanks everyone for being with me here today. If you want more from me, if you have future ideas for future videos, throw them in the comment box down below. Let me know how you used your labor transformer bed in your labor to help you cope with labor. What worked for you? What did you try? What do you maybe wish you would have tried or known? And then if you want more from me, you can head on over to bundlebirth.com. I have classes there. I have extra virtual services. There's random PDF downloads that you can get over there. Anything else you need, I'm here for you. Hit me up. My email and my information is all in the description box down below. I hope you found this really helpful. I hope you know that you have options. I think a lot of times when we get in the hospital, it's like you're in the bed and you're stuck and you're not moving and you're like, I don't know, can I ask for this or that? And I'm here to tell you that yes, you can. Talk to your nurses, work with your care team to have them help you change positions. Obviously, we're tucking in with so many pillows, with peanut balls. You're getting out of bed when you can. You're moving to your own discomfort or whatever's more comfortable. And then once you get that epidural, we want you turning left and right and up and down and all around and really taking advantage of this tool of your labor bed to help your labor progress to complete. Meaning 10 centimeters, meaning pushing, meaning hopefully the birth you desire. And all of your birth preferences and dreams come true, and having that healthy birth memory that I always talk about. Make sure you subscribe down below, turn on your notification bell, make sure you follow Instagram because I have lots more going on over there. I'm on stories letting you know when new things are coming. And then until next time, don't forget to flex and flow, and I will see you soon. Bye.